Yo, what is up guys? Boy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. So, as I'm sure you guys have seen, Eddie Hearn has somewhat exposed Jermall Charlo in regards to an offer that was made for Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. Of course, that would have been a unification fight, a fight between two unbeaten fighters, and a fight that would have got a lot of people excited. And understandably, a lot of people are disappointed that it's not happening. Now, basically, originally, Jermall Charlo's people said an offer was never received, but Eddie Hearn kind of showed the email to the boxing world, indeed confirming the offer was sent. Now, I'm not actually going to go too much into it because I've already made a video about Jermall Charlo where I vented my frustrations in regards to that fight not happening. So I'm not going to do that again. I am very disappointed with Jermall Charlo and his team for turning it down, especially considering there was actually a one-fight deal option in that offer where basically Jermall Charlo would have had to have one fight on the zone against Demetrius Andrade in a unification fight, and if he won, he could have taken those belts back to the PBC, no strings attached, and that's what really irritated me the most about this whole story. But nevertheless, I've already vented my frustrations on the matter. Let's talk about the redemption for Jermall Charlo, a route where Jermall Charlo can go, where fans would accept it and give him credit for said fights, because Jermall Charlo really doesn't have many options. To me, the options for Jermall Charlo are quite obvious. If this guy isn't interested in unifying with Demetrius Andrade, or even fighting Canelo, if you believe Oscar De La Hoya, then let's look at the best options on the PBC. For me, there's only two real names for Jermall Charlo. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing a few people, but off the top of my head, there's Chris Eubank Jr. and Sergey Derevyanchenko. Now, these are two fights I'm interested in. If Jermall Charlo fought both of these guys in 2020, he would get credit from me. I see both of these guys as viable contenders in the middleweight division. I really do. And if I was managing Jermall Charlo, given what's gone on, given the bad PR he's got right now, what I would do, I would have him fight Chris Eubank Jr. first, and I would put Sergey Derevyanchenko on the undercard against a semi-credible name. So I would fight Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr. is a name, he's got an entertaining style, he's aggressive, and he's a solid fighter. A two-time world title challenger, he's a good fighter. Technically raw, yes. Wild, yes. But physically tough, and he gives anybody a fight. Even the fights he lost, the Billy Joe Saunders fight was close, and even George Groves, he lost that fight by a landslide, but physically, that fight was very tough for George Groves. So Eubank Jr. always comes to fight, and he's a viable contender. That's a good fight. So I would have Jermall Charlo fight Chris Eubank Jr. and on the undercard I would have Derevyanchenko fighting somebody half decent, because Derevyanchenko needs to get back into the ring. He had that great performance against Triple G. A lot of people felt he won. I felt he just about lost, but people out there felt he beat Triple G. If you can get him on the card against a credible guy, get him a win, and he's right back in the mix for another title shot. And if Jermall Charlo got past Chris Eubank Jr., Jermall Charlo versus Sergey Derevyanchenko is a great fight. Stylistically, it's a great fight. Derevyanchenko is a very good come-forward fighter, excellent on the inside. He can punch hard, good body puncher, experienced, great amateur. He'll give Jermall Charlo a lot of problems. And if Jermall Charlo could beat somebody like Sergey Derevyanchenko in a better fashion than Triple G, that's a statement. And that goes some way towards repairing his damaged reputation right now, because a lot of people are not feeling Jermall Charlo. They really don't like the career decisions he's making right now, turning down fights with the likes of Demetrius Andrade when he's fighting the likes of Bryan Adams and Dennis Hogan. You can see why people are wound up and annoyed. However, if he fights Chris Eubank Jr. and Sergey Derevyanchenko in the same year, 2020, and maybe one more fight in between, then I think that goes some way to repairing his reputation, because it's not only the career decisions Jermall Charlo's being criticised for. Even the performance against Matt Korobov, where, again, some people felt he lost to Korobov, but he didn't look good. And he's not really got a clear, credible win at middleweight. If he were to beat Chris Eubank Jr. and Sergey Derevyanchenko, it makes Jermall Charlo's resume at middleweight look that much better. So in terms of quality names, it does Jermall Charlo's resume good. I think these fights would be exciting for the boxing public, especially the Eubank Jr. fight. Eubank Jr. does attract casual attention, especially over here in the UK. So that fight would actually draw numbers, and obviously the Derevyanchenko fight is just a credible middleweight fight. So that's the route I would take Jermall Charlo if I was the PBC. We can't really afford to have Jermall Charlo fighting the likes of Dennis Hogan and Brandon Adams back to back again. He needs to push on now. What's he, 30? Like I always say with Jermall Charlo, this is the truth. The guy's not fought a fight we care about since Julian Williams. And I repeat, that was December 2016. That was the last time he fought a fight we cared about. And I say we, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure a lot of people would agree. And yeah, ultimately, I feel Jermall Charlo has wasted the last 3 years of his career. And I was talking about this a long time ago with Jermall Charlo, wasting his career, wasting his potential. He really needs to get a move on, but the only thing with Jermall Charlo, I'm not convinced this guy's about legacy, like I said in my previous video. If he was, he would have took the Demetrius Andrade fight, so me expecting him to fight the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. and Sergey Derevyanchenko in the same year, that's more than likely a pipe dream. Chances are it won't happen. I would like to be proven wrong, because if I am, I would actually give Jermall Charlo credit for taking those fights this year. I really would. And especially Sergey Derevyanchenko. I think that would be a hell of a fight. You can make an argument that guy is a top 5, top 4 middleweight, so yeah, I think that'd be a hell of a fight between Charlo and Derevyanchenko. I couldn't really see that being a bad fight, to be honest with you. And certainly a credible name for Jermall Charlo. Anyway, share your thoughts below. What do you think of Jermall Charlo's career right now? And given what's happened with Andrade, how do you want to see his career managed from here? What fights do you want to see him take? Realistically, I'm talking about realistically because it's obvious this guy's not going to fight outside of a PBC anytime soon. So we need to look within and we need to look at the best options. For me, the best options are Chris Eubank Jr. and Sergey Derevyanchenko. Unless one of these 154-pounders move up or Jermall Charlo moves up, there's no other real options, to be quite honest. So there we go, that's how I see it. Share your thoughts below. Peace.